Gashaga will whitewash them. In fact, they will embarrass Uhuru. If Uhuru travels that journey, he will be embarrassed. Forget about 2022. The embarrassment he went through 2022 will be a joke. He'll be so embarrassed, he'll be whitewashed. The Gashaga phenomenon on the mountain is not a joke. So the opponents are crying and complaining that we can't score. Because Gachagua is a good defender. That's not logical.
But how should it be?
It beats logic.
Do you think Gachagua is feeling on his
So they are saying Gachagua should be good enough to allow other people to come and chip away parts of Mount Kenya.
Yes.
Is that what they are saying?
For the unity of the opposition.
Does it make sense?
For the unity of opposition.
Does it make sense?
For the unity of opposition.
I don't think that makes sense. We have the capacity to identify who is working with Ruto. I personally, I have. I already have an idea.
And the miracle.
I already have the idea. I have an idea.
It seems Jubilee doesn't want a Gachagua candidature. I'm here with Prof. Manyora, going to talk about that. Prof, great to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
You listen to Jeremiah Kioni and he's talking about Gachagua, saying he's bullying himself into the opposition. They were protesting as Gachagua, and I quote Kioni, says he was making and doing press-ups in the office while Jubilee was protesting with Kenyans before Gachagua was impeached. And he also says that Gachagua is working with the president. Says he knows that Gachagua has told people that he will bring the 7 million votes from Mount Kenya, bring Matiang'i in, bring Kalonzo in, and help Ruto become president. This is Jeremiah Kioni from Jubilee. How true could it be that Gachagua might be working with William Ruto? It can be possible, but if you look at how Gachagua is moving in the opposition, does this look like a person working with Ruto?
First of all, these childish games they are beginning to engage in are being watched from State House, and Ruto is just enjoying. They are childish.
Is that from there? Ruto is enjoying?
Ruto is enjoying. And what they are doing is childish. They must stop. And I don't think Kenyans are happy with them. They should stop those childish games. If there are issues, they should do them behind the curtains. They should not share this with the public. The public is getting increasingly disappointed.
To my question, do you think Rigathi Gachagua can be working with William Ruto?
That's nonsense, absolute nonsense. It's not possible. No.
Based on what?
On what I can see. See, I have eyes I can see. You began by saying it is possible. And we all agree, anything is possible. But this one is not something I'm willing to believe.
Could there be an advantage of Rigathi working with Ruto for him?
You see, politicians are driven by selfish interests. So if he can work with Ruto to achieve his goals, why not? But I'm finding it difficult. Difficult because, and it's not just thinking or feeling, difficult because to work with Ruto, at least not to win the election. Yes, it won't be to win the elections. That won't pull it out. Why? Because the people are not as stupid as you might think. Gachagua cannot drive the people to vote for Ruto. You may say he may be part of the games, you divide the votes, then Ruto wins. And then post-election, you share the spoils with Ruto. That is a possibility. But where Gachagua has reached in these matters, where would he hide? Where will he walk? Among the grandchildren and children of Mau Mau people. Atajificha wapi?
It's close to impossible.
It's not. It's next to impossible. It's not.
You call it childish. He's a Secretary General of Jubilee. Why do you think he's coming
I'm not talking about Kion, who is my friend.
You're talking about both.
Everybody who is engaged in this kind of game is being childish.
But I'm asking, where do you think he can come up with these accusations? Of course, Malala started with Red Wheelbarrow, coming to split the mountain.
Yes.
Before we even get there, why do you think Kioni is now up in arms in different media houses? I think so many interviews over the past 3 days, hitting out at Gachagua.
I think Kioni is or rather he believes he's fighting for Jubilee. He is trying to show that that position is not by fluke. That actually he is the right person to be the Secretary General of Jubilee. So he's trying to earn his keep.
In his Jubilee party.
Yes.
But then you look at the mountain region.
And remember, if Jubilee succeeds in putting Matiang'i in State House, Kioni must be considered for a big thing. So he's trying to
show
the
work that he did.
Anajipanga.
But let me ask you about the Mount Kenya region in general. Can you have Jubilee and DCP?
No.
Of course, Gathoni Wamuchomba says before DCP there was DP, there was Jubilee. What is Gachagua telling us with this DCP? You're not saying that.
They should come to me. And I don't charge much. I'll try to teach them a thing or two. Let them just come to me. Kina Mushomba, Kina Kioni. I will not charge a lot. Just basic. I'm not a rich man and I'm not used to big money. What will I do with big money? I'll charge them modestly. The idea is you begin with what is true. You work from the known. A simple principle in learning. You know, my teacher, you start from the known to the unknown. Even in mathematics, when you are solving an equation, you start from the given. Even in logic, everywhere you start from what is given, moving to what is to be known. So what is the known? What we in American, when they are reporting about crime, the police, what we do know now.
Yes.
What we do know now.
Is that the suspect?
Yes. Is holed up in a certain building and, which is surrounded by our boys, if it is Kenya.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So what is this thing that we know? What is this truth that you have to work with? Kioni, Gathoni Wamuchomba, and anybody else.
Even
the truth is the mountain is not happy with Ruto. That's what is given. Indeed, they are angry. There's so much anger. And that anger has united them. And the person making that possible, facilitating the anger, is Rigathi Gachagua. You get it? And therefore, for now, which is now given, the mountain is united. The mountain is angry and united. And Gachagua is a man on the ground. When they look up Mount Kenya, their God is up there. But Gachagua is also around on the foots of the mountain, climbing like Moses to greet God, to have a word. That is the truth. If you start from there, then you'll ask yourself, the things we are throwing at Gachagua, are they making sense? So when you say Gachagua is working with Ruto, is anybody listening to you?
Could it be that the problem is one Rigiji? His leadership style. I was listening to Onyonka, that's why I was mentioning him earlier. He says, if it's a question of zoning in Mount Kenya, let's talk about it.
Yes.
But it cannot be that Jubilee or other parties cannot step in Mount Kenya.
Yes.
Could there be a problem with Gachagua that he has made Mount Kenya so tight, or he's defending Mount Kenya to the last mile, that all these parties feel they are not accommodated, including those from Mount Kenya?
Perhaps Gachagua is just a good defender. So the opponents are crying and complaining that we can't score. Because Gachagua is a good defender. That's not logical.
But how should it be?
It beats logic.
Do you think Gachagua is failing on his
So they are saying Gachagua
style
should be good enough to allow other people to come and chip away parts of Mount Kenya.
Yes.
Is that what they are saying?
For the unity of the opposition.
Does it make sense?
For the unity of opposition.
Does it make sense?
For the unity of opposition.
I don't think that makes sense. In fact, in the interest of the same opposition, if you allow one, why not another? So let's say any party goes to Mount Kenya and gets a share of Mount Kenya. Why not UDA? Why not UDA? Why not other parties, other wheelbarrows, painted differently? Yeah, because you see, what they are saying is illogical. If the opposition indeed wants to remove Ruto, they should be happy with Gachagua. That is keeping all these 7 million votes intact to go into a basket in the interest of the opposition towards beating Ruto. So why should they not celebrate Gachagua? Why are they vilifying it?
Then we go back to
They should come to me. I tell them how to go about it. In fact, they should be happy with Gachagua. If he manages to keep Ruto off Mount Kenya, they should be happy with him.
From what we know now, as you put it earlier.
Yeah, from what we know.
From what we know, is it advisable then for all of them to shelve or to dissolve their parties as a Mount Kenya team? You used to speak about the same when it comes to the Luya land. ANC was there, Ford was there, and you're telling them with unity is strength. Yes. Is this what Mount Kenya should look at? Gachagua
has made that one unnecessary now. It's no longer necessary. Because the party is DCP. Others can exist, but peripherally. And they are important. Why? When through a nomination process, a DCP follower feels aggrieved, he may have recourse to another small party, but within the opposition. So they are okay. DP, PNU, those ones that are allied to the opposition, they can exist. What I'm saying would have been, like Western, would have been ideal if we had a Ford Kenya, an ANC, an ODM in where? In Mount Kenya. Because Mount Kenya, we only have now one party which is dominant. So that's not necessary. In Western Kenya, in the Luya land, Ford Kenya has Bungoma and Trans Nzoia. The big chunk, the biggest chunk. Then we had ANC having Vihiga and maybe one or two sprinkling here and there. Then ODM had Busia and Kakamega. So it made sense for the Luyas to fold their parties and have one party. Then they will kick even ODM out of Western Kenya, Western Province, former Western Province. But for Mount Kenya, that doesn't apply because DCP is the party now. You cannot easily win a seat if you are not on DCP. Even this Jubilee may just turn out being a joke.
And then again, to what is known now, we've listened to Moses Kuria, Gathoni wa Mushomba saying Uhuru is the undisputed king. Rigathi Gachagua has made a lot of strides since he was impeached.
Yes.
Can they win without Gachagua? If they take Matiang'i, Jubilee, the money and what they can mobilize, and they say let Gachagua and Kalonzo do their thing to patane kwa debe.
They can't win. Gashaga will whitewash them. In fact, they will embarrass Uhuru. If Uhuru travels that journey, he will be embarrassed. Forget about 2022. The embarrassment he went through 2022 will be a joke. He'll be so embarrassed, he'll be whitewashed. The Gashaga phenomenon on the mountain is not a joke. If it is head on, people respect Uhuru Kenyatta and the Kenyatta family. And I want to tell you this morning, today, a Kenyatta is going to be the president of this country again. A Kenyatta. A Kenyatta. A son to Kenyatta like Moho, a granddaughter like Ngena, a grandson like others I don't know. They are going to be president of this country. Kenyatta is an institution. It's a phenomenon. Almost monumental. A Kenyatta is going to be a president of this country. In the not so distant future. Even when I'm alive myself. It's just a question of time. 2032, 37 hapo. Utaona Kenyatta kaka president of Kenya. Take it to the bank. And that's why I'm sure. Uhuru akijaribu kusonga mbele na hawa wamesoma darubini watamfuruta kina Mhoa watamfuruta nyuma. Piga break. Because if they allow Gachagua to embarrass them, They are distinguishing their chances of coming back to power. They will not allow it. And that's why in the fight for multipartyism, 1980s, 90s, the Kenyattas were very careful. They were very careful. Mama Ngina the matriarch, she was so careful. That's a very intelligent woman. They were very calculative, kina Muhoho. They allowed the Muhoho, the sister to Mama Ngina, I think the brother rather, go into DP, which was the party of the day because of the Kibaki and the things. Go there. But the kina Uhurus kept to maintain the name of the family. Sijui kama unanishika vizuri. They were very calculative. And that's how come Uhuru became president later. Today, I tell you, once Uhuru realizes he's going nowhere with Matiang'i, he will let go.
Finally, we started by saying they are playing childish games.
Yes.
What's your advice to them? Because they seem not to agree that in any candidate, either Gachagua or Matiang'i, whether Jubilee should coexist with DCP. What is your advice for them?
The advice, they should look for people to organize them in their thinking. They need serious minds to sit down with them and figure out how they can handle this matter. Because already it is becoming ugly. Already they are shouting at each other. They are calling each other names. Now they have not even started. The heat has not been generated. As we move into next year, they will disintegrate into nothing. None of them will be anything. They are inviting Ruto just to go back to State House. So they need to sit down with people who can talk to them and talk with them and plan with them and figure out. They cannot do it on their own. They need to get some team, like a consultant, a consultancy, to help them figure out their problems.
If one team is saying the other is working with Ruto and the other is saying the other is working with Ruto, could it be that one of them is working with Ruto?
I have said this. The most surprising thing, the miracle of the time would be if none of these people are doing
Ruto's bidding.
Yeah. That from these 10 or so people, hakuna mtu ya Ruto hapa. That's now would be the surprise and the miracle. There must be Ruto people there. And let me tell you, if they were to give me that job to help them figure out, we have sessions with them, with my experts, I will tell him this is the mall. Who you?
Yeah, you see the point. Go in the opposition.
And these are the reasons why
Yes.
he's working for Ruto. Put 1, 2 and 2, haingii 4. Something is happening. Huyu. If you doubt me, let's do this and this. Let's say this. Or I ask him, if he's there or her, are you willing to do this? Then obviously,
If they're not.
we have the capacity to identify who is working with Ruto. I personally, I already have an idea.
And the miracle.
I already have the idea. I have an idea. I know who among them would be working for Ruto. And for what reasons. So if they hired me, and at this time I won't be hired.
Doing it for money.
I'm doing it for pay. I'm not going to do it for free. They hire me, and within 30 days, the opposition will be so strong. It will be so strong. It will just be waiting for the swearing in.
Thanks for tuning into that conversation. The miracle would be if none of them is working for Ruto. Goodbye for now.